It's now time to wire up our first sensor. The first sensor that we're going to be using is called a hygrothermograph. Okay, and what this sensor does is it measures temperature and humidity, and it's going to display those values on the LCD screen after we program it to do so. So when looking at this sensor, I want you to see there's 3 male leads on here. Okay, the one to the left is indicated with a plus sign. That's our positive lead. Then in the middle, it says the word out. That's going to be our signal. And then the one on the far right is our ground, indicated with a minus sign. In your kit, you're going to get a pair of female-to-female extension wires. Okay, they're colored blue, purple, and white. And then in your kit, you're also going to get some male-to-male extension wires, again, with the same colors, blue, purple, and white. So what we want to do here is we want to plug in the colors appropriately, okay, to our hygrothermograph. Now, what I want you to pay most attention to is what jumper wire is attached to what value on the sensor. Okay. All right. So first thing we want to do is we're going to take the purple wire. We're going to plug that to positive. So you simply take it, press it in. White is going to be signal, and the blue is going to be ground. Okay, plug those in tight. Now we're going to take the corresponding jumper wires. We're going to plug those in, purple to purple, and white to white, and blue to blue. Okay, now for a safe measure, we're just going to take a little bit of tape. You don't need much at all. And we're just going to wrap the tape around the 2 leads so that they won't come out as we're building this kit. You can use masking tape, you can use electrical tape. I'm just using Scotch tape. We just want to place the tape around there so that those 2 leads won't come out from one another as we're working with this. Now your kit may come with 1 large extension wire. You won't have to do this step. That'll be indicated in the kit's instructions. Okay, now these are connected. We're ready to plug this into the PCB board. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to take our extension wires and we're going to plug them or push them through this hole, the first hole on the bottom left. Okay, so you pull those out. Now we're going to be plugging them into standoff number P0. You can see up here in the left corner it says P0. That's going to be the pin that we're going to be programming it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a screwdriver or a nail or something. We want to press on this connector. Okay, so we press these, then we're going to be able to insert our wires in. Okay, so I'm doing this with the power off to the board. Okay, so there's no power. We'll start with my power cord, which is going to be the purple one. So go ahead and press this connector in at the same time you're putting the lead in. Okay, so now when you release it, I can't pull this out. Okay, that's good. Next, I'm going to do my signal, which is white. And then my last one, which will be blue, which will be my ground. So the white one went into the out pin. So the purple went into positive or voltage out. White went into the out pin, and now my blue, which is my ground, is going to be common. Make sure it's in there tight. Okay. So that's set. Purple, white, blue. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure up at the top here I have my voltage set properly. So you can see where it says 12 volts and 5 volts. There's a little jumper wire or a jumper there. I'm just going to take a tool pull this out, you might be able to do it with your hands, but this is a jumper. Okay, so you see the little metal lead inside the middle of that jumper. You want to make sure that you're not putting the tool on that when you're grabbing it, because you could damage it. But we want this to be, this is a 5-volt sensor, so we want that to be over the 2 leads over 5 volts. Okay, so all of the components in this kit are either 12 volts or 5 volts. Make sure you're reading the instructions properly to set those to the right voltage before you plug in your sensor and check your sensor. Okay, now our sensor is able to be programmed. So let's begin programming it. Now, in our last tutorial, we created this initialization of our LCD screen that's showing the STEM 101 automated greenhouse menu. So this is in a function block called onStart. So this happens every time we turn on the microbit. Every time it shouldn't be every time you turn it on, but every time you hit download, it's going to start with this. So we're going to be creating a new block of code that's going to be in a forever loop. So I'm going to go to basic and drag down the forever loop. Okay. In LeetCode, you can have multiple forever loops, but you can only have one onStart loop. Okay. You do have to be careful when you're using forever loops that you don't have conflicting commands taking place. So the first thing we want to do is we want to understand what this code that we're writing is going to do. And what this code is going to be is we're going to be reading values from, we want to get a reading from our Hygrothermograph on humidity and temperature. And we want that those values to be displayed on our LCD screen. So before you start writing code, you should always have an idea of what the end goal of the code is. That's going to help you write. So first thing we're going to do is go down to the LCD screen, function box, and hit clear LCD. Even though we're clearing the LCD up here, we always want to start by clearing the LCD in case there was any messages that were left on the screen. So we're going to clear it up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our LCD and we're going to show the values. So we want to show string. You can shortcut and not go to your library menu by hitting duplicate. Okay. So the first thing we want it to show is the word temperature. And then the next word we want it to show is humidity. Okay. We want humidity to take place at 1. Alright, so now we want it to show, it's showing the words temperature, humidity, but it's not actually showing the numbers yet of what those numbers are. So we're going to go down here and we're going to say show number. Okay, so we need 1 and then 2. So it's going to show the number of the value here, right? So we need to connect, we need to get an extension for our Hygrothermograph. So we're going to go to extensions and we're going to type in HT11. Okay, so we need to download an extension. So we're going to hit extensions and we're going to type in the type of sensor that is. So even though it's a Hygrothermograph, we're going to give it the actual name, which is DHT11. That is the type of DHT11. That is the type of sensor. So right away it pulls up, you can see it has our sensor here. We're not going to actually use this block. We're going to use this IoT environmental kit extension. So scroll down, it's under Octopus, and I'm going to be looking under the More section. So what we're looking for is this value of DHT11 sensor. So I'm putting this in, and I want it to be here under the show number. So the number that we're going to show is actually the value of the sensor. So we want it to read temperature Fahrenheit. Okay, and then we're going to change this to, we're going to change the value of this, right here. to 12. Because remember I told you that there's 12 spaces to actually put a character in the LCD screen. So we want it to start at number 12. So that's going to show, the numbers are going to start to show up after the word temperature. So now I'm going to go back to Octopus, and we're going to get that value of DHT lamp sensor, and we're going to change this to humidity. Okay, and we want this to be at 12 as well. So the number starts to display after the word humidity, and then we want this to be value 1, because that is what our humidity is at. Okay, so it's going to show these numbers, and then we want to have it pause, because again, this pause is going to tell us how long to show these numbers. So for that, it's going to be 6,000. So I'm just going to type in 6,000. So that's 6 seconds. I'm going to have to clear. So I'm going to my LCD and hit clear LCD. Okay. So that's your code. So let's go ahead and download it. So STEM 101 comes in. That tells me the value of the sensor. So it says it's 72.8 degrees, and it has a value of 10 degrees. Now, I want to let you know that this sensor actually takes some time to calibrate. So when you plug it in and you download it, if you don't get a number right away here, just let it sit for a while. Okay, it usually takes about 10 seconds or so to kind of cycle through and to start showing data. So what you can do to check that this is working is I'll put it up to my heat source here, and you can see the temperature starting to go up already. So it went up 70, it's at 74.1, it's going up to 74.3, so it's heating up. Now I can also take my breath and breathe on it, and the humidity will go up. Okay, so that went up dramatically. That went up to 95. So our sensor is working properly. Okay, go ahead and give this a shot.